Hi there, my friends. In today's session, I'm going to share with you guys how to actually use the Udimi platform to effectively find the correct solo ad vendor. All right, because some of you might be very new to solo ads or even very new to Udimi platform. So this is the reason why I decided to conduct this particular training session. All right, let's go straight into my screen. So I will leave a link whereby you can actually access Udimi from that link. All right, that is my affiliate link, just to be clear. But nevertheless, whenever you use that link, what happens is to register Udemy is actually free. All right, even if you use my link. The only difference is once you use that particular link, you will be able to see all my recommended sellers. Okay, and don't worry, even if you use my affiliate link, whatever you pay in Udemy when you order your solo ads is going to be the same with or without my affiliate link. All right, so first thing, what you will do is you will go to under find sellers. All right, so you have a list of all the sellers here. Okay, so the price max I put is $1.85. Anyway, I don't really care about this one. All right, the got sales minimum, I'll put it as 40%. All right, so they found 21 sellers. Niches, I just put it as all niches. Repeat orders, don't really bother about that. You know, the rest don't really bother. Okay, so what I really care about is actually this area, this dollar sign, as well as the number of reviews that they have. Okay, so first and foremost, what does this thing mean? This actually means that 77% of these sellers, solo ads, 77% of the buyers actually reported that they got sales. Right? Actually reported that they got sales. 67 reported that they got sales. All right, and whether the seller is online or not, you can actually see from here. Okay. For this, Nathan, 57% reported got sales, 54%, 51%, 50%, 49%, so on and so forth. All right. So then what about this thing over here? Now, this one actually means the price per click that you're going to pay. But usually this price is not pertaining to 100% tier 1 traffic. That means to say this particular price doesn't include the markup that they would have if you decide to go for 100% tier 1. In Udemy, tier 1 actually means the top 5 speaking countries, the top 5 English speaking countries, as well as Singapore. Okay, let me see what else is there. Okay, let's just click into any one of them. Let's say this guy, okay, Jason Thompson. All right, so you have all these things like the prime filter, the only top tier, only mobile, you know, all this kind of thing. Now, you can see the price here is 76 cents, price per click. But if I only want the top tier traffic to come in, there will be a markup of 25 cents per click. So it becomes $1.01. All right, for a matter of 300 clicks. Okay. Then this particular prime filter, it actually means the additional filter that is conducted by Udemy, which usually I don't really bother about this because I have my own tracking tool to filter those flat clicks, okay, or bot clicks, I would say. Now, if you do not want to click on this, so what happens is they will still send approximately about 90-95% tier 1 traffic. But my suggestion is whenever you purchase solo ads, please go for only the top tier countries because not only are they the top English speaking countries, but also these are the countries which usually have higher purchasing power. All right. So I'm sure you do not want countries from, traffic from other countries such as, for example, Indonesia, Thailand, you know, or even Malaysia, stuff like that. It's not that these countries don't have the purchasing power, but of course, if you have a choice to decide whether you want to put your restaurant at a busy street where there's a lot of traffic and people are ready to buy your food versus another remote street whereby there are not many people around, I'm sure you prefer the former than the latter. So it's the same thing, all right? So that's the reason why we only go for top tier. I don't really bother about all these. These are all their awards, okay? The respective solo awards, solo vendor awards. Now from here you can see some description. That means to say they have 95% top tier traffic, all right? Premium traffic direct from their own list. So he does not actually have other brokering of lists. That means to say this guy is not doing arbitrage according to what he says. All right, arbitrage meaning to say he's charging 76 cents, but he actually purchased clicks from sources which are giving him like 30 cents or 35 cents, whereby he earn the difference. That's called brokering. Okay, so let me say his leads actually is fresh from his own. So he has more than 2,000 fresh leads added daily. All right, fast delivery. The lease is actually making about 25,000 per month. So there's free funnel and landing page review. So the traffic is suitable for what kind of niche is all stated over here. Okay. So usually the only one that I click will be only top tier. All right. These are some of the FAQs. Now the next thing that I will look at is actually over here. This is the one. So I will see what is the percentage of people who actually reported that they got sales over the last 7 days. Okay, so 24th of November, the day of today's recording. All right, so I will backtrack 7 days. That'll be 18th of November. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Show more ratings. So let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 6% got sales. Okay. So I would say that this particular traffic vendor, his traffic is pretty good. All right. So this is someone that you can consider purchasing. Now, at this juncture, you might be quite concerned about this particular aspect, which is here, the price. Okay, because if we go for a top tier at 300 clicks, it's going to cost $306. Now, again, it's the same issue. Do you really want quality traffic or you want subpar traffic? It's really up to you. Most of the time, if the price is too low, all right, like 30 cents, I'm sure you'll chance upon someone or somehow or other people approaching you on Facebook. They message you, ask you whether you want to purchase solo ads, and their price is that cheap. The lowest I've ever encountered was, I think, 10 cents or 15 cents per click. Okay, those are the ones that generally I would avoid. Because more often than not, those leads are actually pretty much recycled. That means to say, the particular seller has already sold to a lot of different buyers. All right, so when the leads are over recycled, so chances are when these people actually even if they opt in to your squeeze page, every day they're bombarded by so many different offers. Okay, so many different affiliate marketers have already purchased their lead, so-called. All right. So what is the chance that they will actually open your email, actually read it? Very low, right? So which is why those are the ones that generally I won't really bother. Okay. Now, then the next thing over here is you will see this particular box called only link or add text. Okay, only link means you're going to give them this thing called a tracking link. All right, add text is whereby you're going to share with the vendor what exactly is the particular email that you wish them to send on your behalf to their list. Okay, there's a bit of debate over here in terms of this thing called add text. Personally, I do not actually give them any add text. I would rather the vendor, they themselves, come up with their own email, okay, to send. Now, reason being because this is their own leads, okay, their own leads. They are the one that have been nurturing these people. So naturally, they know what is the kind of body text, on what is the kind of subject line that would actually entice their people to actually click on the link. All right, so I will not really bother about this add text, but rather this tracking link is very important. Now, let me share with you what exactly is a tracking link. All right, let me use this as an example. All right, now let's say this is your squeeze page. Okay, for the benefit of those who have never seen a squeeze page before, let me just give you an example over here. Let me go to my click funnels, click on all funnels. Let me use this particular one. Okay, my split funnel test for Bing Ads. Okay, so this is an example of a squeeze page. This is called a squeeze page. All right, so don't bother about all these elements thing here. Okay, how to actually start profiting working at home with affiliate marketing without any more frustrations. All right, blah, blah, blah. Now, so once they actually input their email address here and they click get instant access, that's where they'll be directed to either your bridge page or direct to the sales offer. Okay, depending on how the offer is. Okay, so this is called a squeeze page. Now let's go back to here. So you're ordering clicks from different solo ad vendors. Okay, now some people ask me what is the minimum number of clicks that I should order. My 2 cents worth is try to order at least 300 from each vendor. Okay, because think about it, if you only order 100 clicks, because some people want to save costs, right? So they order 100 clicks. Now let's say you have an opt-in rate of 50%, 50, which is actually not too bad. All right, so based on 100 clicks, you're going to receive 50 leads. All right, and if let's say you use something called a rotator, okay, a rotator whereby once these 50 leads come in and they click on this thing called Get Access Now, all right, on your squeeze page, your rotator might have two different offers. All right, so you have 25 leads going to offer number 1, 25 leads going to offer number 2. The number is too small. All right, the number is too small to justify whether the solar vendor is actually able to deliver quality leads to you. All right, so which is why I usually use a rule of thumb of 300 clicks. Because with 300 clicks, if I get an opt-in rate of about 50%, same thing, so I have 150 leads. My sales rotators will have 75 going to one offer, 75 going to the other offer. All right, so it relatively give me a higher number for me to gauge whether the leads that is being nurtured by this particular solar vendor is of quality. All right, now going back to this thing called tracking link. So what exactly is a tracking link for? Now, if you go back again to ClickFunnels, all right, so this is my split test page. Okay, this is actually the URL. Okay, this is the URL of this funnel. All right, so let's say if we preview this page, okay, again, we comes to here. All right, so this particular URL, if you give it to the solar vendors directly from here, like for example, if you just copy and you go straight here and you paste it here, okay, example, and just paste it here. Now, this is not going to help you at all because the idea of having a tracking link, okay, a tracking link, is to ensure that the solar vendor is not playing punk with your leads. That means to say, if you ordered 300 clicks, tracking link softwares should be able to tell you, end of the day, how many total clicks you received. How many of these clicks are flag clicks? Now, don't be surprised that every time when you order from solar vendors, there will be flag clicks, especially from Udimi platform. Not because of any quality issue, but because when you give them a tracking link, the Udimi platform would actually do a background check. All right, they will do a background check on your squeeze page. Okay, so that is actually considered as one flag click. Then also depending on where the solar vendor resides, all right. So sometimes they might even give you, sometimes they might even test your own funnel and see, test your own squeeze page and see how your squeeze page actually performs. All right, squeeze page. So that would actually be a second flag click. All right. So generally, when you order from Udimi platform, please note that at least minimum you will receive 2 flag clicks. That's for sure. Okay. Now, so does it mean to say if you order 300 clicks, you only receive 298 clicks? No, because most solar vendors actually over deliver their clicks. Like for example, if you order 300 clicks here, right, you might end up having 310, 320, 330. It's really up to the solar vendors in terms of their after sales service. Okay, but generally, rule of thumb is they will give you between 5 to 10% over delivery. This is what they call. All right, so if it's 5% over delivery, Solo S vendor will actually give you 315 clicks. If it's 10% over delivery, they'll give you 330 clicks. So you get actually additional clicks. Okay, this is not something. This is not something particular within Udimi. Generally, most solo vendors, regardless of whichever platform they are from, they will have this tendency to over deliver. All right, this is one form of their after sales service. So going back again to tracking link. All right, so that's the importance of tracking link, and you can get all these tracking link from softwares. All right. In one of my previous training session, I mentioned to you that most tracking softwares like ClickMagick's, QLiker.io, all these can actually help you to generate tracking links. Okay, they can even help you to generate, or rather to find out the front-end sales is actually coming from which solar vendor. Okay, so going back again to this particular vendor here. Now, let's go back again. Okay, you see that he has reported a 75%. All right, now this is calculated from the last 100 solos. All right, so from the last 100 people who ordered from him, 75% actually reported that they got sales. So again, it means that when you order from this guy, there is a higher chance of you recovering your capital faster. Now, I will not say recover your capital straight away from the front end sales from here, okay? But I will say there's a higher chance of you recovering your capital faster by ordering from this particular solar vendor. But what we also need to track very importantly is the back end sales. It's your email sales. Okay, you need to understand that ClickMagic and QLiker is not able to track the back end sales when this is actually the most important. This is actually the most important because most, if not all, of your return on investment is going to come from your email list. All right? It's not going to come from your front end sales, guys. All right, your front end sales is actually meant to buffer or say compensate part of your initial advertising cost. But this is where the money is. That's why they always say the money is in the list. They don't say the money is in the squeeze page. You know what I'm saying? So the money is in the list. Now, so these back end sales, we need to be able to track, end of the day, the leads that actually purchased certain sales offer from you. All right, follow my mouse. Originated from which vendor? Is it 1, 2, or 3? All right, and this is something that most popular tracking softwares are not able to do so. All right, however, I actually have this particular software that I personally use, which I will leave a link somewhere around this video, and you can actually just click on it. Now, you don't have to purchase it straight away, all right? But there's a video over there that emphasizes the importance of using this software, okay? So if you're someone who is really serious about building an email list fast by using solo ads, really do consider getting that software, because so far that is the only software that I know in the industry that can help us to track the back-end sales very effectively. Okay, now let me give you an example. Why is this back-end sales so important? Example, you have vendor number 1. All right, let me just put it over here. Sorry. Okay. Now, example, you have vendor number 1. All right. So you invested $300 for 300 clicks. Okay, let me just expand this. All right, you invested $300 for 300 clicks. Now, the front end sales gave you a return, for example, a commission of $180. All right, so that means to say your return on investment, ROI, is still at negative 120. Am I right? But you're pretty happy because you realize that, hey, I can get some front end sales. But without realizing that from a business point of view, you're still losing $120. Okay, because most people look at immediate thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so this is an example. Let me make this a bit smaller. All right. Now, versus you have another vendor. Okay, now you have vendor number 2. Vendor number 2. Let me align it. Okay, to make it congruent. Sorry. Make it congruent for you guys to see. Okay, now you have vendor number 2. So same thing, you invested $300 for 300 clicks. All right, so it's almost the same example, right? Now, in this case, the front end sales of this vendor number 2, front end sales, okay, gives you a return of 0. So you got nothing from the front end sales. All right. Now, most of the time, if you do not have a way to track the back end sales, this is where the problem comes. You will start to feel that, hey, vendor number 1 is better, vendor number 2 is not so good. Okay. So your ROI here is actually something wrong with my keyboard today. Okay, ROI is actually negative 300. All right, so this is the time where most people will either give up on solo ads, or they will actually say that solo ads is crap, or they will say that vendor number 2 traffic is crap and stuff like that. So a lot of complaints will start coming. Correct? Now, let's continue what happens. Okay, but don't forget your leads actually go into your email autoresponder, right? Now, from there, you can actually see over a period of time. Usually I will gauge it as over 2 months, the next 2 months. All right, this vendor number 1 actually gives you a return of $50. Okay, that means to say you have already set up your workflow. Your autoresponder has been sending them emails every single day for 2 months. And during these 2 months, you earn extra $50. All right. Now, for this, same thing, let's do a comparison. Over 2 months, you start earning $400. Now, bear in mind, the initial ROI is actually negative 300 for the finance sales. But over the next 2 months, the leads are so responsive that they always open your email, they click on your email and stuff like that, and you actually get $400. So your final ROI, okay, your final ROI after 2 months is $100. You start to profit. So this is what they mean by it's actually free to build the list when you have found a quality solo ad vendor. Okay, now but for vendor number one, sorry, this is okay. But for vendor number one, after 2 months, you are still not getting positive ROI. So your final ROI after 2 months is still at negative $70. Okay. So end of the day, from a business point of view, who would you actually buy leads from? Vendor 1 or vendor 2? If you don't have any way to track the back-end sales, you will choose vendor number 1 because it gives you a front-end sales of 180. Correct? But if you have a way to track the back-end sales, you'll realize that actually the leads from vendor number 1 is not that buyer ready, not that responsive, not that engaged with your emails. However, the leads from vendor number 2, even though you got very low or nothing for the front end, but the leads are more responsive, they're more engaged to your emails. All right, then that is where you can actually get positive ROI from the second month onwards. That means to say from the third month, fourth month, whatever this 300 clicks the least, like for example, if your opt-in rate is 50% and you got 150 leads from there, so you are going to actually keep on getting positive ROI from this vendor number 2. All right, so that's also the reason why if you were to purchase solo ads from Udimi, all right, and when you actually give them this tracking link, if you give them a ClickMagick or QLiker tracking link, it's not going to help you to track your back end. It will definitely skew. It will skew your entire judgment towards which one is the best. It is a better solo ad vendor if you only look at the front end sales. All right, guys. So this is in general how you actually use your tracking software together with how to find different sellers, different quality sellers in Udimi. All right. I will leave the 2 links over there. One is for my Udimi recommended sellers affiliate link. The other one will be the software affiliate link. All right. From there, you can actually take a look, experiment it. The software, I think, is pretty cheap. I think it's $30 per month. All right, $30 per month. And Udimi to register is actually free until you start purchasing any solo ads. So do leave any comments below this video if you wish to find out more about solo ads. All right. With that, I'll see you in my recording tomorrow, whereby I'll review one of the newest product launch again. Take care.